Hey everyone. So I just want to first of all thank you. It's so nice to see everyone. And I know that everybody is worrying about us and sending their kind words and sending their prayers. And it really means so much to us. It gives us a lot of strength. And it's hard to find words and to think clearly at a time like this because honestly, there's so much to do and so little to say. There are so many people that need help and kids that need comforting, and words just seem kind of meaningless or empty, like in the magnitude of what we're going through. What can you possibly say that would be worth saying? So the first thing was I just wanted to show you for a moment, just kind of, I said to Jamie, I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't have any words of wisdom. We're in such tremendous times. Like, what little things can I think to say? So he said, why don't you share your heart, your experience? So I just wanted to show you for a moment what last night looked like outside of our house.
Yeah, those ones are falling there. They're not getting me with team. Holy moly.
It's like because we're the first line
Whoa.
into Yehuda, it's like we're welcoming the missiles into Israel. We can like see them from
Are
here.
those Risisim? Are those Yerutim? Or what are those? Are those missiles?
It seems to be.
They're going in the wrong direction.
Those are the missiles, man.
Why aren't they coming over from Jordan side?
Stick to the Torah commentary,
Whoa, God damn. It's like fireworks.
not the military commentary.
Holy!
It's actually really cool.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. İmam kipat makinesinin gelince.
So that was from our front door. And this is a little picture we just grabbed during the daytime. That's what it looks like. That's what a rocket looks like getting intercepted in the daytime, and the video is what it looks like in the nighttime. And it's also disoriented because you're sleep deprived and you're running to bomb shelters all night long with the kids. And it's easy to forget that we're living in a miracle. We're witnessing the greatest miracles in Jewish history. And I just want to kind of add to Ari and Jeremy that as we read this portion, it's so strange because the people who are saying that they're afraid to go into the land are the same people who are living not in a memory of God's protection, but actually in God's protection. People who had a pillar of fire at night and a pillar of cloud in the day, but when you're inside of it, it just becomes normal. When you look at the map, you see tiny Israel and huge Iran, and you wonder how did those people in the portion say there are giants in the land and we can't fight these giants? I mean, you can kind of understand it when you look at the map. And the challenge is to remember, just like it says in our portion, that the land is very, very good. And in this land, we don't live by the laws of nature, only by Hashem's protection. And suddenly, when I was looking, we were in the bomb shelter. And the reason I shared that video and that picture with you guys is while we were sitting in the bomb shelter, we were kind of looking through our phone at these different videos and pictures. And one of the kids said, while we're in the bomb shelter, this is just like 2 hours ago, one of the kids said, can I go outside and look at the missiles? And I said, no, you can't. We have instructions that we have to be inside the bomb shelter. And then one of my other kids said, well, you can't even see the missiles during the daytime because at night they look like fire. And then one of the other kids said, of course you can see them. They look like clouds. And as the kids were arguing if missiles look like fire or if missiles look like clouds, suddenly it hit me like, oh my gosh, how did I not realize this? The cloud of protection in the day and the pillar of fire at night. If only you have eyes to see it, you see we're actually living the biblical reality of Hashem's protection. It's just you have to have the right eyes to see. And I saw something really cool today because, the first Rashi in the Torah, the first explanation of Rashi on the very first verse in the Torah is that he says, Hashem will give the land to he who is fit in his eyes, like to the one who is righteous in his eyes. And that's usually understood as being Hashem will give the land to whoever is righteous in the eyes of Hashem or fit in the eyes of Hashem. But it actually can be read also as being fit in his eyes. The person who is fit in his eyes, the person who is righteous in his eyes, like if you have righteous eyes, if you have fit eyes, then that's the one who will be deserving of getting the land because you have to have properly functioning godly vision to actually see the land properly, and that's the ones that's who gets the land. Like we have people clamoring to run away and clamoring to come home like Ari. It's the same war zone. It's the same reality. It just depends what eyes you have to see it. The spies all spied the same place. They saw the same giants, they saw the same fruits, they saw the same facts. They didn't go at different times, but some of them said it's a land that eats its inhabitants, and some of them said the land is very, very good. Same land. They had the same spying itinerary, just different eyes. God gives the land to the one who is fit in his eyes, and you're fit in Hashem's eyes to be in the land when you have godly eyes. So I think our number one challenge right now is to just maintain being in a state of awe and gratitude, even as we mourn harrowing losses, to see that Hashem's hand is guiding this. We have pillars of clouds in the day and pillars of fire at night to just recognize the miracles every time we see them. And a second thing I want to share, this war has been named Rising Lion. And it's after the verse in the book of Numbers when Balaam wants to curse us and he blesses us instead. And he says, behold, a people rises like a lioness and rifts itself like a lion, shall not lie down until it devours its prey. Sorry, it's being blocked here. I want to get this verse. And drinks the blood of the slain. So until it devours its prey and drinks the blood of the slain. When our enemies mean to curse us, a war that starts on pickup trucks in the kibbutzes of the South, trying to curse us, ends up 600 days later with us turning into a rising lion. And I want to finish with just the words of the Ramchal, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto. I read something really cool today, because when a baby is born, the name is like their essence, and the mystical tradition teaches that parents get a moment of prophecy when their child is born to give them the exactly perfect name for them. I think the same is true when a leader names a war. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this war is named Rising Lion, because the Ramchal actually says, this is 250 years ago that he says this. He says, it is already known that Israel will go through many wars before it can rest from its labor. So he's saying 250 years ago, this was before there's even a state of Israel. He goes, there are going to be a number of wars, not just one war. It's going to be a number of wars. But the final war will be when Israel will rise up like a lion and a lioness to take vengeance against the nations that oppress them in the exile. Meaning the Ramchal tells us prophetically from the mystical tradition that the last war will be Israel rising like a lion, just like it says in the verse from the curse, which actually was a blessing, of Balaam. And I think that's so interesting. He's telling us that there's going to be this final vengeance where we rise up like a lion. Now, I can guarantee you that our government and our prime minister did not have time to be going through the Ramchal when they were naming this war, but it's this kind of prophetic intuition. And he goes on and he says something, it's a little bit cryptic, but I think we can tease some meaning out of it. He says, for as long as there is accusation, it steals light from holiness and brings it to the Sitra Achra. The Sitra Achra in mystical terms means the other side, like the satanic side, the dark side. And he says that, I'm just going to jump to the end. When there's no longer any corruption in people's actions, then everything will move towards rectification. I'm at the bottom. There'll no longer be a place for the Sitra Achra, no longer be a place for that satanic darkness to stand, not even for a single moment. And in that time it will be said, he will swallow up death forever, and Hashem will wipe away tears from every face and remove disgrace from his people from all of the earth, for Hashem has spoken. Meaning, the Ramchal tells us there will be a time in the end, in the final war, where Israel rises like a lion. But when such large things are happening, we can feel so small. But what does he say? He says when there's this moment in time that comes, everyone needs to go through a rectification, like a personal rectification, because every single person, every single action can actually affect cosmic events. It can affect, we're in this cosmic time, like when Netanyahu, right before the war broke out, was at the Western Wall putting in, a prayer to the Western Wall. And as soon as the strike started, the Ayatollah posted on the official Iranian, message. He said, in the name of Allah, the most merciful. We're not in a regular war. We're in a cosmic war, but we're not small in this war. And the Ramchal tells us there's going to be a war where Israel rises like a lion. But the thing that every person can do is to just accept upon themselves something. This is actually, Ari, I told this to you. I sent this to you in a private message. He said, how do I get back? Help me to get back. I said, it's not in our hands. I said, you have to make Hashem an offer that he can't refuse. I said, this is a moment where everybody knows in their heart something that's a little dark that they're doing wrong, that it would be really painful to stop doing. That little vice, that little thing that you know that you just shouldn't be doing it, but you really like doing it. You really want to keep doing it. It's too hard. And when your back is against the wall, and that's when you say to Hashem, fine, I, for the sake of Israel's honor, for the sake of victory, for the sake of goodness, for the sake of this moment in time that we've merited to be in the generation of, I'm going to fix that thing. The Ramchal says that by each person rectifying that thing in their life that they know that they need to fix, we push away the Sitra Achra, that's the satanic side, the dark side in the mystical teachings. We push that away, and that has less strength. And we know that we need every bit of godly protection. So that is my sort of plea to myself, my plea to all of us, that we just find that one thing and accept upon ourselves for the protection of the people of Israel, for the protection of the soldiers, for the protection of the Mossad, for the protection of the righteous people themselves in Iran that are ready to fight against their evil regime, for the victory and for the sanctification, first and foremost, of God's name in the world, for everybody to take that little thing upon themselves that they know they need to do, and let's all as a fellowship together just bring holiness and push away the side of darkness with all of the strength that we possibly have. So with that, I'm sending you guys love. You guys are sending me a lot of strength. I'm sending it right back to you. Let's all be in prayer together nonstop, every moment of every day, fixing ourselves and crying out to Hashem for just the greatest miracle in human history. Bye, guys.